Hey guys, it is Friday night here in the Philippines, and we are going to do our free-for-all weekend showcase video. And we are going to be taking a look at some hot rods, street machines, and street rods, kind of like my own version of the hot rod Nats or something like that. So I brought out all of my cars with big engines, custom paint jobs, tub chassis, slicks hanging out, everything but gassers. The reason I eliminated gassers, not because I don't like them, because I do love them, is because we just did a video showcasing all the gassers a while back, maybe a month or so ago, and I have quite a few gassers, so they kind of need their own video to themselves. So today is basically like cars that you'd see, well, at the Street Machine Nats, something like that. So I tried to keep focused on all regular release cars, no chase stuff, but I did have a couple chase cars I could not keep out of the mix. And we'll start with them. I'll show you these guys first. Actually, there's only one, and the other one is a collectible Corners Camaro from M2. And, well, while I'm describing it, I'll show it to you guys. So this is the guy here. It's 69 Camaro from the 2011 Collectible Corners. I don't know if that's an event or show or hobby shop that has M2 make some cars for them. Not sure, don't know much about them, but I do know they have some really limited M2 cars. This guy here is the regular release. No chase thing about this one, but it's still one of only 484 or 492 made. Really cool looking car. Black 69 Camaro with these blue flames with the tub chassis with a 5-spoke Krager looking, polished American looking wheel. Very classy looking car with the SS grille. A subtle stock cowl induction hood. But as I said, this tub chassis won its place in the hot rod theme today. And really nice car. The rear piece too, as far as I know. It's something that you don't often see, and I had to bring it out and show you guys because I don't think I show this one very often, just because it's kind of a strange one. It doesn't fall into like drag racing when I do my racing showcases. It doesn't fall into chase videos because it's really not a chase car, but it's rarer than some chase cars. And speaking of that, the chase car I do have, it's one of 750. So the Collectible Corners is actually half the production of this guy here. This guy here is the 68 Camaro SS350. This is from their, I think, Auto Mods series, something like that. This is the first chase of their 68 Camaro, I believe. The regular release one had black wheels. The chase one had chrome wheels. And really cool looking car. Unfortunately, the doors, they did a shitty job with the hinges and the way that they line up. As you can see, the way this door drops down here onto the rocker, it was much worse than that. But actually, this door, yeah, I believe that's the one I broke the hinge and actually fastened the door with super glue. And then this one lined up okay. Sometimes you can take the car apart to manipulate the hinges, like loosen the screw and kind of retighten it and readjust it, or maybe even bend it a little bit. But you have to be careful. As you can see with mine, I broke the hinge on one and had to glue the door. But this is a really cool casting. It's one of 750, and it has a twin-turboed LS-style engine in it, which is really cool because you're just thinking sleeper SS350, and it has that tubbed like chassis. Bigger diameter wheels, though, in the front, but still looks really good. Has a full cage in it, so that nice, subtle, like street sleeper. So definitely had to bring him out because it's not overdone chase version with the gold or color tires or something like that. This looks like a regular release. Actually, I would have preferred this as the regular release, and then the black chrome and stuff should have been like the chase one. But yeah, as I said, those are the two that kind of stand out as like chase vehicles. Trying to get that to focus back in. Well, we'll get it back on the next car. So, moving along, we'll do the other M2 Camaro we have here. And that is this guy here. This came from a Comp Cams trailer it's set, and it is the Thumper Cam, I think. No, just www.compcams. But this car had some Pro Touring looking wheels on it that I took off. These wheels and tires are actually the same, well, not the same, but they're the ones that came with the Edelbrock Camaro model kit, the centerline wheels. And the Edelbrock Camaro model kit, I put the 5-spokes, well, that are on this car, on it. It had 2 different sets to choose from. It was one of the Auto Lift series. And anyways, I used the center lines here on this car just to make it look a little more nostalgic, more like a hot rod. So do dig this car now with these wheels on it. I can't recall when I put the Pro Touring style wheels on, but this one's been modded by me. So next on the agenda, we'll do these cars in the background here. These are more the cartoonish looking ones, my zingers. I don't have many zingers, but the ones that I do have are pretty cool. This is the newest one that I have. This is from, I think, 2018. It's the Challenger RT, but it doesn't have the RT vents on the side because it's a 71, as you can see with the split grille. Pretty cool though with the mod top on it. That's what I really dig. And love the stance of these cars. They're really cool. Unfortunately, mine had a little chip in it because it came in a really damaged package. But luckily, it didn't damage the car anymore. So pretty cool one. The next one is an AAR CUDA. Now, this is an older release that I found at a local hobby shop here on sale for like $2 or $3. It was new in the package, but it was a yellowed blister. And as you could see, the notorious thing about Johnny Lightning, the older releases, that paint rash. You can see a little bit on the roof there. Not too bad, though. But love this dark plum color with the AAR stripes. Looks really good. Has like a weld super light wheels or something like that, I would call them. The next one is a pretty rare one. This is the Camaro one. This is an older release too, with the Kragers on it. This candy like green, which is beautiful. This one luckily doesn't have any like paint rashing or anything like that. This is a beautiful car. They had another release of the Camaro, and it was in a bright yellow, almost like a canary yellow, not your typical like stock butternut yellow that came on the 68s, but this was more of like a canary, almost like the Daytona yellow that you'd see like on the 69 Vets and Camaros. But yeah, I really dig this one. Pretty cool looking car. RS, SS, SS in the grill, hidden headlights, and they are correct because if you notice, your backup lights are not in your tail lights. That's another way you can tell an RS from the back. The RS will have the backup lights in the rear valence panel on the 68s. And then from the front, the obvious thing is the hideaway headlights on the RS. So this is your RS SS, which is pretty cool. Then we have the blow-in delivery, which we've looked at quite a few times. This is the mail-in car from 2016. Well, one of the 4 or 5 mail-ins for that year. Love this casting. Really cool looking machine. It's like based on a heavy-duty like 33 or 34 Ford panel truck. Chopped, channeled, whatever else custom thing could be done to it. Maybe even sectioned a little bit, but definitely chopped and I think channeled. It looks like. So pretty cool machine. And then the next one that is in these crazy street rods is the Bone Shaker, which we just unboxed him a couple weeks ago, so I won't spend much time on him, but I do love the skull grill, the Hillborn and Gleese like stack injection sticking out of the hood, the exposed interior with the cutout roof, the air ride suspension, or that may even be a gas tank actually. I believe that is a gas tank and battery. It's not air ride, so my bad. But then since we're on this like skull thing, hot rod, the next like original Bone Shaker, I guess I would call it, is the Dragula Grandpa Munster from the Munsters. And if you guys haven't heard yet, Rob Zombie is making a movie on the Munsters, which should be really cool and probably a little horrific too, because the Munsters were always like a friendly family. I'm kind of wondering like what type of twist Rob Zombie is going to put on that. So it should be interesting to see. This is an oldie but a goodie from Johnny Lightning. This is from 1999. This is like one of their 99 Halloween exclusives, as you can see there on the side of the casket. So really cool piece with like the pipe organ headers, the lantern headlights, and lantern tail lights. And like the glass cover from like a fighter plane from like World War I, World War II covering where he would be setting. Pretty cool. And then the scoops on the top for the injection or carburetor were made to look kind of like bat wings. So pretty cool. So the one that corresponds with this is also really cool. Herman Munsters, the Munsters coach. Kind of built off of an old stagecoach car. Really cool. And this is the newest release. If you notice on the package of this, if you still have it carded, it says Barris Coach. Because George Barris is the builder of both of these guys. But it was always referred to as the Munsters Coach. So I'm not sure why they called it the Barris Coach on this latest release. But pretty cool. Same deal. Lanterns for headlights and tail light. So really cool machine. So, then next street rods. Since we're on the street rods, finish up the street rods. This guy you see in my diorama quite often. A lot of people always ask me, what's that black coupe sitting in the background? Well, this is Neat Streeter, based off of a 35-36 Ford. Actually, it was originally the Hot Wheels 35 Ford, which would have been in maybe the original 16 or the following year. But this is what replaced it. And if you ever notice on your Neat Streeters, there's no windows in them. None of them I've ever seen have a window bucket in it. So always no window casting. But this is my favorite release of it for quite a long time for rubber tires, because it has that hot rod look, the jacked up rear end, tires hanging out, like ET studs in the front, like a Krager in the back. It looks really cool. This screams old style, like 50s, 60s hot rod. So this is my favorite rendition of it. And this is from the Real Riders series from back in, I think, 2014, 2013, maybe at the earliest. So really cool street rod. Then, last but not least, with the fat fenders, my original Boulevard release, 41 Willys. This is my favorite issued, like, 41 Willys, like pro street car. I never bring this out in the gassers because it's not really a gasser. This thing slammed on the ground. It's running a Mustang 2 front end, and you could even see that that's kind of what they wanted to indicate here. You can see the rack and pinion there, the squared cross member, the tubular A-arm. So this is based on a Mustang 2 Pinto front end, which most of the tubbed Willys do run. So anyways, yeah, that's why I never bring him out for the gassers, because he's not really a gasser. Hopefully I'll be landing one of those gassers from RLC soon. Black Box, actually the 100% stuff, they have some really nice looking gassers too, but the ones I've come across have some rubber band damage on the front ends. But really, they would be pretty cool because the front ends flip up. You could just primer the front end and make it look pretty cool. I may actually pick one of those up eventually that may have the rubber band damage and do that, because it would have that nostalgic look of like maybe the car was wrecked, or maybe it was an all steel body, custom painted, and they bought a glass front end and primered it and threw on the car. So there's a lot of cool like background stories you could put on that with like a primer front end with a black flamed body or something. Pretty cool. So yeah, this is the Pro Street 41. Now moving along to super cars from the dealership. And I only brought one of those out because I don't bring it out often. And this is like a little terror. This is the Baldwin Motion Super Vega. This thing is awesome. And this one I think is made to look like it had a small block in it. And what's cool about this casting is that it does have an opening hood, and it opens like a factory Vega. It flips toward the front like a Vet. And you can see down in there a little bit, it looks like it has dual quads. It looks like a small block, but you could actually get these like phase 3s with a big block in it. So they would have been a handful. But yeah, this is really cool. This also, unfortunately, has that like paint spotting, paint rashing thing from Johnny Lightning from the older castings, but still really cool piece to have. I don't really mind a little bit of rash on this one because I'm just happy to have one. I'm a big Vega fan, owned quite a few of them, tubbed, and then just kind of 10-inch slick cars for street cars. So I've had even the Pontiac Astra, which is the Pontiac version of the Vega. So I have a small place in my heart for these little guys. So this one is really cool. This is based on like your 71 to 73, probably 71 being bulb in motion phase. I don't know what phase it is. It just on the back quarter, this one says Motion Super Vega. So I think that's what it says. Trying to get it to focus in. I know it says, yeah, Motion Super Vega. There we go. So, really cool looking car. Has like the center line wheels in the back with slicks and Kragers as your front runners. Badass looking little car. One of my favorite Vegas that I have. I think it's not my only Vega, but it's my only street Vega nowadays. I got rid of a couple other Johnny Lightnings I had because they had some really harsh paint rash. Really bad paint rash, actually. But yeah, that one's really cool. That one's tolerable with the paint rash. So moving along, we have a Mustang, and this is probably one of the more iconic custom Mustangs in movies. Now, Bullet was more of a stock 66 or 68. I'm sorry. This is pretty much like a Pro Touring modded 67 GT500. So that's why I brought her out. I should say Eleanor. This is from Greenlight. Very nicely done. They also have another casting that has opening doors that a lot of people say was borrowed from Shelby Collectibles. I don't know how true that is. It could be, but I'm not sure. But this is a fine example of Eleanor from Greenlight. And as I said, it has that hot rod Pro Touring appeal. That's why I brought it out for this showcase. So really nice car. Love the red acrylic tail light lenses. That looks really good. So, one of Greenlight's finer cars. But still has bent axles, I think, a little bit. But anyways, hey, can't complain too much. So, next one on the list is a beautiful 56 Chevy from Hot Wheels 100%. Tubbed out chassis, slick, skinny front runners. This is Hot Wheels like finer models. Love the 100% stuff. As you can see, fully detailed blow-in small block, maybe even it's a big block. It's got split center ports, so fully detailed blow-in big block. So really nice with this like candy metallic orange with the white two-tone centerline looking wheels, I think. Yeah, they may have wanted to like show that they had holes, but they didn't really cut them into the wheel too good. But still yet, really beautiful casting. Very well done. And if you guys don't know it, this one did actually take turn signal fluid. And it's kind of a joke, but the tail light flips open on a 56, and that's where you have your filler neck for gas. So I think it was the driver's side tail light. I can't remember which one, but one of them flipped open, and that's where you would insert the gas nozzle. That's where your filler tube was. So it's kind of a joke that they say 56 Chevy is the only one that took like turn signal fluid. So it's kind of a joke between mechanics. So really cool car. Then moving to our next ones are some trucks. And I know like I wasn't going to bring out trucks in this, but some of them it was kind of hard not to. First being this one with the tilt front end. This is the Ultra Hots Hot Wheels. This is a really hard one to find. It has like a blow-in small block in it, small block Chevy or small block Ford, can't really tell. But the flip up front end's really cool with the blower engine sticking out. And it has a cutout bed floor so you could see the drive line. And this would be like a rear tank, maybe for gas, maybe for air ride. Not sure on this one. So you have your wide whites, your 5-slot wheels, nice detail on the truck, very nicely done. That's why this one, I love this like candy, I guess it would be like a candy tangerine maybe. Really dig this. The Ford painted on the tailgate with the custom tail lights, and then the exhaust tip cutouts in the rear roll pan on the bed. Beautiful looking truck. So that's why I had to bring him out for the Hot Rod Showcase. Then I had to bring out his counterpart, which matches our diorama building, the toy store. That's actually where I got the logo from, is the package of this truck, is the banner for the toy store. So I had to bring him out, and because, well, blowing small block, big block, whatever it is, but it does have a tubbed look to it too, with these 5 spokes, the flame paint job, and as I said, it matches our toy store. So it's like our delivery truck. And what they did back here is really cool. They made the doors, back windows of the doors, look like eyes for a smiley face, and they wrote their website, www.matteltoystore.com, as a smile, which is pretty cool. Very creative. Nice detail on this one. And this was like a Mattel Toy Store exclusive, so if you go there, you can get one of these. I'm not sure if they're still selling them or not. That I got a couple years back from one of the local vendors here who get stuff from the States, so they still may be available. I'm not sure. So, moving on to the next and last truck is the bedless Miho Speed Shop. And that's why I brought him back up, because it just says Speed Shop, Hot Rod, Custom, has that tubbed square tube chassis, all square tube chassis with like a Mustang 2 front end. And then the big tires in the back, the bedless look, the slammed look, just screams Hot Rod, so I had to bring it out. Still prefer if it had a bed, but this just seemed like it was very fitting for what we were doing today. So, anyways, trying to lay these out so we'll get a nice view when we close today. So, moving along, the rest are Mopars, and we'll speed it up a little bit. Actually, I'm sorry, not the rest is Mopars, one more Chevy. This is one of my favorite Novas outside of the Supernova Gasser. Love this F&F release, this gold metallic color, the stance of this car, the chrome 5 spokes, the tub chassis look, this side exit exhaust looks really kick-ass. And this F&F version with the detailed grille, headlights, and then the rear valence, actually the rear part of the deck lid, that insert, the Nova SS, the tail lights, they did a fabulous job on this car. I know I praise this every time I bring this car out, but they did do a killer job on this release. So really dig this car. Glad to have it. Looks like a tub Nova, so hey, that's why we are putting him in the mix. Now the rest are Mopars. So, first one is this A-body. This is your 71 Demon with rubber tires. This is the first release of this car with rubber tires. Second being the Super Treasure Hunt. But this is from the 2011 Grod series, and this is nothing but like 1970s pattern style, like paneled paint job with the purple paint, blue patterns, and a blue interior. So definitely screams 1970s street machine. So that's why he earned a place in this weekend's showcase of hot rods. Then we have some Chargers. First one is our 66. Done up in a Pro Touring style with, well, I guess this, I don't know if this is more Candy Tangerine or this is more Candy Tangerine. Haven't really looked at Candy Tangerine for quite a long time. I'm going to say the truck is more like a Candy Tangerine, although this is really cool. This is maybe like a Candy Copper or something. But really cool looking car. This is from the Foose releases that came with different wheels to choose. So I put the bigger Pro Touring style wheels on it. Looks really good on this car. So yeah, happy with the way that one turned out with that wheel choice. Then we have the 69 Charger Daytona, tubbed with a blown and injected Hemi. So looks pretty cool like that, the yellow with the black tail stripe. So pretty cool with the 5 spokes. Nice looking tubbed out Daytona. The next are based on, well, F&F stuff, except for one. This is your Ghost Rider car that I showed you guys. I actually did the swap for you guys on the video where we took the orange tires off and put black tires on it. So this guy looks much better. Just like a 69 Charger with a blow-in Hemi or 440 or 383. Probably I'm going to imagine that it's a blow-in Hemi. So pretty cool looking. Now the last two are from F&F. This is based on Dom's 70. This is the one in matte black from the recent releases of Hot Wheels. Well, actually not the recent release, but the time before the last one. So there's like 3 releases, I think. So this is the second one. And if there hasn't been 3 releases, then this is the first one. But if there's 3 releases, this would be the second one. Done in a matte black with the blown and injected Hemi, 5 spokes, great looking car. Color matched front bumper. And as you guys can see how long the front of these fenders are. Well, Greenlight, this is their first take on the F&F Charger. This is from like GL Muscle Series 17, where all the cars, 17 or 13, something like that, where all the cars are based on F&F cars, but they were not F&F licensed yet. But this is cool. It's based on a 70, but you could see like how stubby the front fenders are. They're not really that long to symbolize like a 70. That's a 69. That's why they look similar. So as you can see how much longer that is. And then also look at the front bumper. The front bumper is actually a 68, 69. The grille is actually a 68. So what they did, they took their 68 casting and modded it. Trying to get that to focus. There we go. Well, it was focused for a minute. But anyways, yeah, that's a 68 grill. 68, 69 fenders. Then they painted the markers on it. But it does have the 70 taillights and such. But yeah, this was not casted as a 70 originally. It's a modded 68 or 69 casting. Later on they did good. They got a nice 70. Actually, I got one here to show you guys. That's their newer release of the 70. As you can even see, the front fenders are a tad bit longer. The bumper is more correct. The grille is more correct. So definitely nicer after they retooled for the 70. But yeah, that's the downside of this one. It doesn't really look like a 70. But still cool casting. And it's the pioneer to the F&F stuff from Greenlight. So pretty cool. So guys, that's it for today. That's all of them. I think, as I said, there's 25 of them. So there we go. All 25. So what we're doing next week. Not really going to be unboxing much next week because it's, well, the end of the month, and next weekend is the 4th of July, our Independence Day. So next weekend we're going to do a red, white, and blue special, of course. But during the week, I'm doing my top 5 for the second quarter of 2021. Yes, we've already finished 6 months of this year, and just like at the end of March, after the first quarter, I did my top 5 picks. This second quarter, I'm doing the same thing, and I will bring back our top 5 from the first quarter to set with these next top 5. And then at the end of the year, we'll do a top 10 out of all 4 quarters. But so anyways, those are the videos we have coming up next week. So be sure to tune in for them. I left an icon here on the left for another showcase we did on gassers. That way, if you guys want to see some gassers to go with these hot rods, you'll really dig this gasser video. So the icon here on the right is for you to subscribe if you have not done so yet. Please remember to do that. Give me a thumbs up and share the video, and enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching.